Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This week I kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit, and I've been doing YouTube for almost 8 years now, and I've only recently kind of gained some traction. There's a lot of projects, if you're new, you might have missed, and honestly I was just feeling a little nostalgic, and I wanted to go back in time and talk about my top 5 favorite woodworking projects. I'm going to link all of these videos in the description below, so if you wanted to check out like a specific project, you could do that. Click on the video, watch it. Caution, I wasn't as articulate, and my music was kind of loud back in the day, so take it with a grain of salt. Maybe turn the volume down just a touch. With that said, let's just jump into it. These aren't in any particular order. They're just my top 5, and let's check them out. I don't know why I'm starting here, but it just seemed fun. This is my whiskey cabinet. It lives back here still. It's in rougher shape than it was when it was born. Let's check it out. I had a bit of a different shop setup, I'm sure, as you can see. My shop has changed a bunch. The older videos, it's gonna be obvious that things are a lot different. This thing is super dusty. Okay, here's the thing. Once I show you this, you're gonna be like, this kid's a total booze hound. I'm not. I was just, 5 years ago, I was really into bourbon. Honestly, I don't really drink it anymore. You'll see all these bottles have a ton of dust on them, but the way you open this, hold on, let me move this. So the way you open this is, I used to have this button attached to, I think it was actually this cabinet, but a different orientation. And you would hit this button, or you do hit this button, and you can hear a little solenoid go off, and then this guy opens. So I thought it was super cool because it was kind of like Prohibition Style apothecary whiskey cabinet type of deal. I mean, I still love it. I still think it's really cool. It just needs a bit of a facelift. I made this thing out of 1/2-inch plywood. Basically, I made the whole thing on my table saw pretty much and ripped dados to attach all these dividers. I think I made it out of a single sheet of plywood and then glued it all up and tacked it in place with pin nails. I remember getting a lot of flack because people thought I was being a little bit irresponsible with the way I ripped my dados on my table saw. I mean, I still have all my fingers, so I don't know if it was a huge deal. But anyway, I don't know if you see anything wrong with it when you go watch the video, holler. And then the front of it was a 1/4-inch piece of plywood that I got some of this California redwood from a guy out of Cape Cod. You know, it's covered in dust now, but it had this really cool deep orangey red color to it, and I just really liked that. So I adhered and I think I used pin nails again to fasten that to this piece of 1/4-inch plywood, and then glued on some 3/4, that's 1/2-inch MDF. I glued on some 1/2-inch MDF that I painted black, and I can't remember exactly what I used for glue, but it failed, so that's why this huge piece is missing. Anyway, I still think it's really cool. Oh, and I installed some lights in there. Yeah, I did those strip lights that you get on Amazon, so they're actually triggered by a light sensor in there, so when you open the cabinet, they light up. It lights up your collection, as it were. Yeah, I still think this thing is super cool. Again, needs a facelift. Maybe we'll revisit it down in the future. One thing I don't love about it is if you look at this, I guess I don't really know how I would have changed it, but you've got to be like 6'3" to actually reach the bottles because this cover's so big. So, I don't know. That was my thing back in the day. Go big or go home. Anywho, that's the whiskey cabinet. Let's move on. All right, this next thing, this is kind of a stretch calling this a woodworking project, but it does involve wood and I did build it. So, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever built, only because I use it every single day. It's not this truck. This is metal and somebody else made it, but it's what's inside. That's what I made. So, hold on, let's pop the door open and let me show you what it is. Now again, if you follow me, if you follow my channel, you know I hate to clean up before you get here. So, this is a real life TV program and I didn't clean. All right, I'm gonna have to go remote for this because I plain old can't get my tripod in here. This is a sweet invention. Honestly, GMC should pay me to make these. This is this is the inside of my truck. All right, when I got this truck, it only had 2 cup holders right here. And like more other trucks have way more. A Dodge, I think, has 10. So I wanted more cup holders. I wanted a spot for my phone. And then this is just kind of a catch-all. I don't usually put anything in there. So this is like a GMC console situation that goes where, I suppose if you were sitting in the middle seat, that's where your feet would go. But I put this here because honestly, not very many people sit right here, and I've got a whole back seat. I usually just cart dogs around, you know, and Henry, my 2-year-old. They sit in the back, so this has never been an issue for me. I guess part of the reason I like this is my own ego. I just thought it was cool that I had come up with this thing. So right, your cup holders, you've got 2 extra cup holders. They're the big ones, so it can fit my big giant Yeti bottle there. And the other thing, I made this out of 1/2-inch walnut plywood. So I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of matches the seat covers, and it kind of sort of matches this ugly fake wood that GMC put inside their trucks. But yeah, like honestly, I think if you just jumped into my truck and saw that, you'd think it was meant to be there, because the wood grain matches. I've got a Total Boat finish on here that mimics just kind of like that really glossy overcoat thing. I used polyacrylic to cut out the template and to make these little kind of edge pieces for decoration. And I actually even put on some of this rubbery, I don't even know what you call it. It's like faux leather, but it sort of kind of matches like this stuff that's inside of your car. I don't know what they call that, pleather, who knows. Anyway, so it totally matches like everything, right? So you're sitting here, you're going for a little cruise. Whoa. And yeah, it just works. Like, check it out. I don't know, I just thought that I really liked that thing. I thought it was really cool. I thought it made me feel like an inventor, you know, which I really like. Not every car has spot for something like that, but I'm pretty pumped about it. And again, I use it every day. All right, let's move on. Wow, the lighting in here is really bad. Sorry. This is Henry's room. Okay, remember I just talked about how the GMC console was my favorite thing I've ever made. This has got to be the nicest thing I've ever made. So this is Henry's changing table, and this is where he keeps all his clothes. See that? Kind of cool. Soft close drawers, and actually it comes with a little cubby system up there. I've got videos on all of this stuff. But basically what I did here is, this was an existing just 2x4 or 2x5 closet, standard closet for a regular old house. And I decided to make some built-in dressers with a changing table top. Now I figure one day he's not gonna be changing on here anymore, and this can become, I don't know, where he puts stuff. All right, maybe a desk, maybe puts his toys up there. I don't know yet, but I think this thing pops. The look of it, I love. It's a good design, good handles, good walnut top. I actually use that same sheet of plywood for my console in my truck. It's an offcut of this. So the top of this thing is walnut plywood with walnut trim, and then the entire thing is pretty much made out of 3/4 inch, just regular old maple plywood. Actually, it might even be pine plywood. I can't really remember, but yeah, it's a very simple build, but the look of it is really nice. Like, it's built in, it looks very fancy, and it just ties the room together. Like, I wouldn't know what to do exactly with this closet if it had doors on it. And this is a small room. We live in a small house. Be tough to find a spot to actually change this baby. You know what I mean? So we built this, and I really love how it came out. Allie was kind of the one that decided on the drawer style. It's just a very simple, you know, inset square with a very simple drawer pull on it, and what is it, 6 drawers here, all evenly spaced. Yeah, it's very slick. Very happy with the way it came out. And again, it's a very simple build. Might have used a couple sheets of plywood. Most expensive thing was this piece of walnut plywood for the top. I have an extremely in-depth video on this build, so I don't know if, I don't think I ever made plans, but honestly it's like a 25-minute, half-hour video. But I take you through the entire build process. I think I talk about all of my dimensions. If you've got a standard closet and you want to slap one of these in here, doesn't necessarily have to have a changing table on top. You could make this into like a little beauty station or a vanity. Check that out. Yeah, because I was pretty open about my design and how I made it, and I'd love for you to try this. It's pretty slick. All right, next up we have, oh, let me move this. Next up we have, how many heads? All right, I'm just gonna put these right here. That's a lot of hats. Okay, this guy right here, yeah, this is one of my favorites. Why? Because it's really gorgeous. I'm a big fan of cherry. Honestly, I prefer it over walnut, if I'm being honest. Look at how deep red this is. Excuse me, Lucy. Excuse me, Lucy. So this was just a really simple build, but I love the look of it. And it was also just all cherry hardwood. Planed it down, sanded it down, put a nice little bevel on the edge of it, and it's just, it screams high quality and it's really beautiful. So yeah, this is the sliding door to our walk-in closet. Oh, come on out, Blue. To our walk-in closet, which is also cherry and a little bit of maple. Every time I see this thing, I'm like, man, I really enjoyed building that. I had a fun time. And I love how it came out. It's super simple and it's just really, like I said, it's just pretty. I don't know. I like pretty wood, I guess. It's kind of farmhousey. It's got this little like X in it. You know, if you had like a gazillion-dollar barn, you could slap one of these on the front of it and people would be like, yeah, that works. I built this when barn doors were like in. I mean, not that they're not in anymore, but I feel like there was a craze, you know, 7 years ago when we bought our house. I had built this walk-in closet as a series on this channel. And well, obviously we needed a door. So I built that and I just think it works. It goes nice with Allie's, what does she call that? Terracotta. This color is terracotta. It goes nice with her terracotta accent wall. Also something that was very in a few years ago and she's thinking about changing it. But anyway, yeah, it works. It's great. I love it. It's fun. I've got a great video on it. It's one of my more popular videos actually. Take a look and build one of these at your house. I think you could go with anything. I mean, it's really, it's only 1.5 inches thick because it's basically 3/4 inch wood sandwiched together, which makes it a super simple build. The back of it is just plain Jane. It's just kind of one big sheet of cherry, and then obviously the front of it is this cool farmhouse design. I hope you like that one. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it for a while until I was making this video, and I was like, man, I really like that door. And that's kind of the idea behind this video. Like I said in the beginning, it's just a trip down memory lane. Okay, last but not least, let's move on to the Cubbies. All right, last but not least is, unfortunately, something I don't have in my possession anymore because it was a commissioned piece of woodwork that I did for the local gym, but it's Cubbies. And this was just it was fun to make for the same reason my whiskey cabinet was fun to make. It's just basically cutting up a bunch of plywood and building cubes out of it or boxes out of it, storage out of it. It was a blast to build. And I go to that gym and I see these things get used every day, so that makes me happy. Again, it's very entry level. All you really need is a table saw, or even honestly a skill saw. And if you have the time, you can make the dados with pass after pass after pass. I built this out of 3/4 inch plywood, and again, I used my table saw, and again, people got on my case about being sketchy with dado blades and stuff. But again, fingers, I've got them all. I don't know, that was a different me back then. I'm a little safer now. Yeah, it's made out of 3/4 inch plywood. It's nailed together just using glue and brad nails. Super, super easy, super entry level. I've said this 100 times, but just a blast to make. I ended up putting some hooks in the locker sections of the kind of upright cubbies. Each and every one of them, I believe, was built out of a sheet of plywood or maybe just a little bit more with some Luan on the back. I actually had plans for those. I've sold a lot of plans. I'm not trying to like sell you on anything, but if you wanted to make something simple like this for your mudroom, for your kids' room, for your gym, for your garage, it's just super simple DIY storage, which you can't really go wrong. So I think we'll end with that. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. And honestly, if this video is popular, I think what I'll do is my 5 least favorite woodworking videos. Things that maybe I didn't love how they turned out, or maybe they turned out great and I just didn't love the process as much as I did for these 5. Let me know if you want to see that. I'd be happy to make a video. I've got tons of old footage and stuff, and I really liked going back through and watching these old videos and just kind of remembering how I used to do things and what it looked like in the shop, and gosh, what I looked like. My stupid beard. I appreciate you hanging out with me here today. I will see you next time. Don't forget to pet your dogs. Kiss your wife. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye.